Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength, and by Grunt Style. We are so glad you joined us here, wrapping up our 2018 season. Steve Post, and we are joined by the CEO of the World Racing Group, Brian Carter. Hey, Brian, how are you, man?
I'm good, Steve. I am exhausted, but I'm still excited.
I love this. I don't know how many years we've been doing this, but we've ended the year just sitting down, state of the sport, talking about it, and we got a lot of ground to cover, and really can't wait to do that. And going to be fun, and we're going to continue the conversation even into our Thursday podcast as well, because a lot of ground to cover. But we appreciate you coming in. But you did something, and we'll just jump right into your passion for racing. I'm sitting around 2 weeks ago, and I'm watching along with this Driven Racing Oil World Short Track Championship, and my friends the McLeans from down in Indian Trail, and next thing you know, David Stremme and Ashley Stremme are all working on it. You actually climbed back behind the wheel of a race car again? Have you? I think have you lost your mind? Or?
Yeah, there's some challenge about me losing my mind, but I do. It's been a long time since I've been in a stock car, and I decided that one of the things I gave up a long time ago was getting in and out of a race car, and I missed it. I missed being one of the guys, and I decided. Actually, I started looking back in April, so it's not like it's sort of a little. I can't blame short term going crazy, but I've been looking at these cars, and I miss being one of the boys at the racetrack, and I gave that up when I took on this task, and I enjoyed it. I had one objective: let's have some fun at the racetrack, and I did, and got a little competitive at the end. It was kind of fun.
It was cool. You raced in a Pro Stock, Northeast Pro Stock along the way, but your background, I think when we first started dealing with you were running 305 sprints around here, but you like getting your hands on a steering wheel of a race car, and you've done it before.
I have. I had an old 1984 Monte Carlo. I ran IMCA stock cars back in Texas. I ran with Smiley in his first or second year, putting the Sprint Series of Texas together. I've run some USCS shows, both on asphalt, which is a little scary, with Pete Walton when I moved over here, and the 305 stuff with French up in even Virginia. So I've had my hands on race cars. It's just one of those things I love to do. It's such good therapy for me when I'm working on something, building on something, making it as fast as I can make it, and then go out and have a little fun with the boys.
Okay, so I'm just going to be brutally honest. I watched your heat race.
The heat race was pretty scary.
Yes, exactly. But by the end of the weekend, I understand you got you say you got a little competitive. You kind of got your footing back.
My fastest lap was my last lap. I ran up to eighth. I ran up into eighth. So yeah, we had a little bit of I could feel something wrong with the car, but having not been in one, I couldn't really tell anybody what was wrong with it. I had a shock broken on the right front, and trying to turn a stock car with the right front all locked up. Not going to work.
Wow.
So I had we found a broken shock, and we got back in the race car. I was like, okay, now this is fun. Yeah. And got race here, and fastest lap was the second fastest lap in the whole feature.
How about that?
3 thousandths off the fastest lap of the feature. So I found the edge. I did spin out, but that next lap was a little, it was pretty fun. But I had a great time. It was just a good time. I believe in that class. I think it could be the foundation for a nationwide stock car class across the country, and that's why I'm experimenting with it. So I want to see what it needs to be. But it was a great weekend. I had a good time. It kind of gave me in the right frame of mind to finish out the season with the World of Outlaws.
Absolutely, I love it. And if the CEO thing doesn't work out, maybe you get back behind the wheel. So
no, I'll never make a living racing the cars. It was I'm a much better promoter and organizer.
Well, absolutely. You do a good job with it, that's for sure. And we're going to talk a lot about that. Before we get away on the first break, we need to cover our Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery Hot Topics World Finals. Friday's show actually was Saturday afternoon. Ian Madsen picked up the win. The Kevin Gobrecht Rookie of the Year picked up his third career World of Outlaw win. Saturday show, not a shocker, Donnie Schatz's 22nd victory. And our friends on the West Coast, they wrapped up their season. NARC King of the West, it was the tribute to GP, to Gary Patterson at Stockton Dirt Track. In the NARC King of the West 410 race, the race winner was Rico Abreu, series champion Kyle Hurst, And in the Sprint Car Challenge Tour, the race winner was Shane Golobic, and the series champ was Kyle Hurst. So congratulations to our bud Kyle Hurst on sweeping the California Championships. Man, that's a great, great race car driver. We'd like to remind you, for all of your embroidery and apparel needs, Classic Ink USA. That's www.classicinkusa.com. All right, we got the preliminaries out of the way. We got race car driver Brian Carter out of the way. We're going to talk to CEO Brian Carter, the state of sprint car racing. That's coming up next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld racing wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld racing wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld racing wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery, located in Greater Pittsburgh. Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
O'Reilly. Improve visibility when you replace your worn wiper blades with a pair of Bosch Focus or Trico Titan wiper blades during O'Reilly Auto Parts See Better, Drive Safer sale. Plus, you'll get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after mail-in rebate. Get premium blades at guaranteed low prices. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm David Grau, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength is their motto along the way. We are joined. We do this every year to wrap up the season, and it's become one of my favorite broadcasts of the year because we can kind of sit back and take a look at the season. And who better to do that with than the CEO of the World Racing Group, of course, the series owner of the World of Outlaws, Brian Carter, joins us. And Brian, let's just start with the big picture. And I know you're a stats and numbers guy. The state of sprint car racing. How are we doing?
You know, we're in a great place right now, Steve. It's a place where the cool kids are hanging out.
Yeah.
Candidly, you know, it was 2018 had its ups and downs for sure, with the heartbreak,
yes,
with the lost two friends, and you know, it was just that's a hard place to stand here and be real excited. But I am real excited because they were living their dream, and I want to make sure that we get to live everybody else's dream as best we can. So, you know, 2018, where we're standing at the end, is an incredible place for sprint car racing. You know, Mother Nature wasn't very friendly to us, so we didn't complete as many shows as we normally would. We're off about 10 shows. I think we lost 24 total, but we got them back in. But you know, 19 new winners again, or 19 different winners, 6 brand new winners. I mean, when you see that trend starting, you know, 3 years ago we had 2 people that won shows that never won an outlaw show. Now you're seeing 2, 4, 6. You're seeing some real excitement in the youngsters coming in, and these guys we've got some talented young drivers. So, you know, when you're the creation of the legend that Donnie Schatz has become, and then the youngsters that want to be in sprint car racing, it's absolutely phenomenal to watch them come in and succeed. I mean, with the rules packages not really changing much, people know what they need to do to come in here and step into a really competitive field. It's so exciting to be a sprint car driver right now.
It really is. It's exciting, and it's so exciting for us to watch along the way. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of different things. I want to talk about the World Finals, but you touched on the rain and rescheduling. Can you take us inside the nightmare process of trying to get it's a huge task to put the original schedule together. Can you take us inside the nightmare process of trying to reschedule races?
It is a challenge. You know, the good thing for me is Carlton and Tom Deary, Carlton Reimers and Tom Deary take the brunt of that. So I have a great team in place to get that stuff done. But you know, the dynamic of our outdoor sports promotion and the need for some stabilized weather, it's just challenging. But there's so many things you have to balance. Not only how many times are you in the marketplace? Does the schedule work? Can you really travel now with the LDs and all the logbooks these guys have to keep? Right. Can you really travel through? Can you make a long haul back and get there? So, you know, it's a absolute, you nailed it when you said nightmare. It is, you know, getting them on the calendar to begin with and getting it all to work in a manner that makes sense for all the people up and down the road with us, teams and families and the rest, and the great race fans. It's Mother Nature threw that wrench in there quite a bit this year. It was pretty painful, but we're able to get some of those back in. But, there's some that you just have to say we lost it and we can't go back. It just doesn't fit back into the calendar. It was a challenge to get it in and a challenge not to. And sometimes you just can't do when you've got, in Pennsylvania, you've got 7 big shows already scheduled and you're not pre-selling tickets in some of those. And Sunday is an awfully risky gamble, and it's just one that's not made very often. So we there's some places where you just have to decide when you lose a show, you've lost it. And then you just have to get on with it and go to the next one. And that's a challenge, but it is, you mentioned it's a nightmare, and hopefully Mother Nature will be a little bit nicer to us next year.
Maybe we got it out of the way, that's for sure. You guys, we talk about, you bookend the season, you start at Volusia, it's always so much excitement and adrenaline. What you guys have created, and we talked off air, the exhaustion level that everyone's kind of at now. When you guys sat around and thought about this World Finals, putting all 3 series together and everything, where is what we're doing now? Did that stick in on the dream of this thing growing to?
The key for us is to continue to evolve it.
Yes.
The evolution of what that event has become, it has grown into it, and it's grown into it because of everybody who comes to it. It's not just the organization. We have an incredible partnership with Charlotte Motor Speedway, with World Racing Group, and they have the absolute top of the line facility for us to allow us to take the rain, the 2 inches of rain we got Friday week, and then the rain on Friday, thank goodness, wasn't as bad as they'd predicted. But the Charlotte Motor Speedway facility allows us to do pretty much whatever we want to do. So the key is in evolving that event into something that the fans want and that the competitors feel like they want to be a part of. And then, the beauty of that is it's grown and grown and grown, and it's grown because of everybody who's participating in it. Everybody who comes down here, who brings their families and friends and comes to the racetrack and celebrates the entire season. And that part is the key. You don't really feel that exhaustion until because you're running such a high adrenaline level the entire week, because it's so exciting. Even for us as organizers, it's so exciting and so much fun to see it all come together. And at the end of the day, you kind of go, man, I'd like to do that again, but I'll maybe take a week off.
I am sure. You were faced with, and you said something, again, we chatted before we came on the air, but ending up this year doing an afternoon show on a Saturday, fans are coming in from all over the world. How important is it to have a facility where you can pull that off? And, oh, by the way, it was a pretty good show on Saturday afternoon, too. How important is that?
It's very, very important. I understand. We do it all the time. The fans have to make plans. The competitors have to make plans. We have a rain date on our banquet we hope to never use. Yes. But we can run that on a Monday afternoon if we have to. But it's just not what we want to get done. And because of the facility at Charlotte, the team we have on the track prep guys, the cooperation we have with the race teams, the organization that's all done to try to figure out how to do this. And it's a 5.5-hour program on Friday and a 5.5-hour program on Saturday if things go well. So to be able to bring the fans in, to be able to entertain them, probably the best day racing I've seen. Yep. All 3 classes had some incredible features Saturday and Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. It's just phenomenal to stand back and see it all come together. But it's because of all the planning and preparation, not only by us but our race teams, our officials, and our fans. We want to get them out and on the road because they have plans for Sunday. They have travel that's expensive and all those pieces. It's a huge balancing act. But to be able to stand back now on a Tuesday after and it's just exciting to see that it all came together.
It really is. And all dirt roads indeed do lead to Charlotte. And I think the message coming out of this is get your tickets when they go on sale, and get your tickets because you're going to see the races. And I think that's so critical. If you're going to make the 10, 15, 12-hour cross-country, across the globe trip, it's so important to know that the facility and everyone is working to get the racing in. Changing gears here, you guys at the beginning of the year announced that you're going to launch Dirt Vision, the complete Dirt Vision, all year long. You put a smile on your face. I have a smile on my face because I'm at hotel rooms all across the country. And I think more important than you and I having a smile on our face, it just seems like sponsors, teams, wives, race fans, everyone, the process to do it, the work to get it to this level, and the degree of success it was. Can you just kind of cover that?
It's an extraordinary move forward for the sport.
Yes,
it is. It is the new broadcast for us.
Mm-hmm.
It fits what our sprint car fans need. It fits what our events we can control inside of our event. The technology is available to us. We continue to add and add. I alluded to it. I knew it was going to happen when we were on the show last time. I couldn't really bring it to the front. So, and it is the place where we're investing. We want our fans are passionate fans. Being engaged on Friday and Saturday is not enough. Mm-hmm. Being engaged when they're only in your area is not enough. So to bring that to them, to bring them the highlights, to bring them the engagement day in and day out, we're meaningful every day, and we've seen it. Their fans are the viewership is way up, the engagement's way up, all the social media is up, and when you're coming along at 6, 7, 8% growth, now you're looking at 30-35% growth on the social media, the impressions. You are engaging people on a daily basis, and that's the way people want to be engaged. Short snippets, and get them engaged, get them up to speed, let them see it if they can, run the replays. And let them see it on demand when you can, and that has been so much success, and we're going to see even more investment in that going forward. So hold on to your hats. Yeah, we've got more coming on Dirt Vision side. We just launched the late model programming with our partnership with Dirt on Dirt, right. And we're going to have even more coming on Dirt Vision.
Man, and those guys Dirt on Dirt, what a job they do. Holy cow, man, you've partnered up with someone really good there for the late model side. So more dirt racing, that's it. As we're sitting in a hotel room or sitting at home, we get to follow along. Hey, we do need to step away, but stay in there. More with Brian Carter in just a moment.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is proud to open the Brian Clausen Suite Tower in 2018. Located next to the museum, it's a testament to the sprint car community's commitment to honor Brian Clausen's legacy while helping the museum sustain financial stability into the future. To donate to the Brian Clausen Suite Tower and help cover construction costs, visit bcforever.com or call the museum directly at 800-874-4488. Bring your friends by the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum next time you visit Knoxville.
Hi, I'm Donnie Schatz, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Brian Carter, the CEO of the World Racing Group, has joined us, and continuing kind of with the state of the sport. Brian, and you alluded to it in your open comments, this year was great on so many accounts. With Jason Johnson and Greg Hodnett, we did suffer some tragedy along the way, and out of that tragedy, to a degree, but I know safety is something that you're always working on. The new rules for the car of next year, the Sprint Car Council, you got together with them, they got together with you, and describe the process that I can't even imagine getting car owners and team builders and team owners together and getting anyone to agree on anything. What was that like as you worked through this season?
It was we've been meeting as a group for a long time, right. With Tony and his continuing increasing involvement with the All-Stars and all the rest. He really wanted to make that a more vibrant group. So we have a great relationship, and we've with his help revitalized that group of people. So it was nice. Even here at the World Finals, we had a meeting. Mm-hmm. When you're including not just the 410 racing, but you're including all the sanctioned bodies at the 410 level, but USAC and ASCS and the USC, the MOA. You've got track operators and series, and you've got drivers and owners in the room too. So trying to create as broad a perspective as we can as we approach what we want the sport to be, so that it can be here, so we can celebrate 10, 20, 30 years from now what sprint car racing is and what we want it to be. So it's a group. We've been meeting. We've met, had some really good meetings along the way. We had a big meeting in Knoxville, had another meeting here, another meeting planned at PRI, and really just trying to guide the sport. We had taken some really immediate actions on some things that we thought were sort of the low-hanging fruit. Same thing on the speedways where we're addressing, we've always had an eye at safety, but we have a much keener eye. And, some things you walk by that at your racetrack and you're focused on something else and you don't see something. Well, we've asked everybody to be open with the feedback, sharing the feedback, and trying to move the whole thing forward. There's not any particular person in the sport that wants us to produce anything that's unsafe. Absolutely believe it. All the way from the organizations, the sanctioning bodies, through the racetracks to even the cars and the owners and the drivers. Nobody wants to introduce anything that we don't believe is safe. And a keener eye on that with the talented people in the room gives me great hope and confidence that that's the path we're on.
I'm so heartened to hear that. I'll be totally honest with you. When I read the press release about the Sprint Car Council, I literally turned it over and said, okay, where's the part about the racetracks? I'm like, this is all about cars and chassis, and I'm there. And then as I had the chance to follow up and talk to drivers and track operators and people with your group, I realized that, man, that process with the track operators, there's a lot of track operators that after some of the events this year, they got on a four-wheeler or just took a walk around their facility. And the drivers, I guess, are key in that as well. Everyone, it's everyone on all hands on deck.
Yeah, it is a very quick feedback loop right now. It's
nice.
It's one of those things where, again, where you're looking at a property you've raced there for 20 years and you think about it, and now you've not thought about any particular one thing, and now with that keener eye and a little broader perspective, some things are coming to light that are going to be really not hard or expensive to execute against. It's going to be, you're going to see a really steady stream of improvements across the racetracks, and the drivers have been helping us identify things and have been more vocal, open, candid, objective dialogue, and that's the piece that's important to us. And the reception from the racetracks is tremendous. The reception from the sanctioning bodies is tremendous, and the help that we're doing together is the way the sport will succeed at achieving this.
It is so exciting. I spent a lot of time. I was at Lakeside a couple of weeks ago, and I really kind of rolled up my sleeves and just went around and talked to some people. And I'm like, whoa, there's a lot going on here, and it's very exciting to see. It really, truly is.
Yeah, and what I told the group and what we've talked about in the meetings is that the formal communications are important, the press releases and the rest, but the most critical part of the communication is the informal communication. The people that are in the room represent the entire sport, coast to coast, from sanctioning bodies throughout sprint car racing, and they need to be vocal about their participation and the voice being heard at the table. And that collaborative effort, the entire group of sprint cars, through the entire group of racetracks, the entire group of sanctioning bodies working together, there's not another one in the world, I think, can say that that's being done.
It is amazing. It really is phenomenal. Beyond the Sprint Car Council stuff, you have regular meetings with your ownership, your team owners along the way. I know your team owners, and I'm telling you what, they are as passionate about racing as you are, and as I am as anyone else. With no specifics as far as that goes, the dynamic of those meetings, what are those? Take us inside those meetings. And is it herding cats, or is it really kind of everyone pulling the rope in the same direction? What is the dynamic?
No, it is actually the meetings have progressed to a very, very, very productive level.
Nice.
It's nice. It's actually, I believe that's because of the open collaboration. I believe that they have confidence in the sanctioning body from the World Racing Group and World of Outlaws and in guiding them. I think they understand that we do care a lot. We're not changing management all the time. This is looking at 15th year for me. This is something that we all care a lot about, and we want the same thing. And the hard part is balancing all of those needs. I mean, there's some significant needs. You've got owners that are just getting started. You've got owners it's a challenge. The managing all those pieces and getting a balance that works. And I think we do. The main thing, they want to just make sure that things we're doing are making sense and are fair. And we the fair pieces, we I don't care what color the car is when it comes into the racetrack, but it's a great group of guys. They want the same thing. They just want a place to race. They want a fair place to race. They want to put on a good show for our race fans, and they want to make sense as we all make decisions. And that group it's actually had very incredible meetings over the last 2 or 3 years. And even before then, we had productive meetings. But now I feel like it's a collaborative group, and have a group of owners that are that are driven by the success of their teams, which means they're going to beat the other teams in the room and having them all in the room together, sharing ideas, and it's encouraging. It really is encouraging.
Pretty cool stuff. That is for sure. We need to step away. Stay with us. More with Brian Carter in just a moment.
O'Reilly.
Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up a 5 1/4 ounce bottle of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $3.99. Clean and lubricate your fuel system while increasing miles per gallon with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $3.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
This is Tony Stewart. You're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
We are having a ball and glad you joined us here. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Brian Carter, the CEO of the World Racing Group, World of Outlaws, joins us here. This time during the program, we like to focus a little bit on our Hall of Famers. The birthday calendar coming up on Thursday, Todd Schaefer. Thursday's birthday, J.W. Hunt. He is a member of the 1996 class of the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Started drag racing in the 60s, went stock car racing in the 70s, and then really stepped up his game in the 80s. When he personally discovered sprint car racing, and what a character he was. Primarily worked with Jack Hewitt, Brent Kading, and Jack Audenschild, but every time he was at the racetrack, they knew he was there. And this guy would walk in, and Jack or Brent or Hewitt would put it on the pole, and he'd walk over and give him $1,000 cash just for that. So very flashy gentleman, really into the sport, did so much for everybody. His real deal was a strawberry processor out of Florida, and sadly, J.W. Hunt, he died in January 6, 1994. We love talking about the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, turn number 2 in Knoxville, and that's where these stories are, these legends that built the sport. So you can check them out at SprintCarHallOfFame.com, or, of course, when you're in Knoxville, go to the Sprint Car Hall of Fame in turn number 2. Brian Carter joins us here along the way. Brian, we're getting toward the end of the show along the way. What haven't we covered? What do we want to make sure we talk about as far as the 2018 season goes?
I want to talk a little bit about the consistency that these guys have up and down the road. Everybody knows. I mean, Schatz is absolutely the guy to beat, and it has been for years. He hasn't finished outside the top 10, I think, 5 times. Another level of consistency, I think, Brad Sweet. I don't think everybody realized he didn't run a B main this year. He transferred out of his heat race every single night.
Oh, my gosh.
I want you to think about that. No mechanical problems, no wrecks. It absolutely transferred out of every heat race he ran in. So there's some consistency there at the top that it really should be the model for the way teams are being built. But when you think about, and if you go back into 2018, despite the weather and despite the tragedy, the most hopeful thing for me is these youngsters coming into the sport. You see the likes of Shelton Hodenshill getting his first win at Volusia. You got Aaron Rutzel's on his first one now. All-Star. What he's doing there. Corey Eliason, Brent Marks got his first one. Now he's got a couple more.
Brent Marks, that's an amazing story.
He is, and he gets his setup book right and can qualify that car. I mean, you're talking about passing a lot of race cars. Mr. Marks knows how to pass a bunch of race cars. He's fun to watch. Got his wins. Little Freddie Raymer got his first one at Lincoln. Yes. I was watching that one on Dirt Vision, and that made me so exciting. And you got the Selzy boys. Gio got his, and Dominic's coming close. Yes. So those guys were fast in Bernie's cars there at the World Finals. So when you see that young group of guys coming in against the legends that are being built and the consistency at the top, it's just an exciting time to see sprint car racing.
What fascinates me just sitting here, and this just totally hit me. The Selzy boys from California, Freddie from Pennsylvania, Reitzel from Texas. And it's not, this sport is just border to border and coast to coast, and this young talent is border to border. Sheldon from Ohio. My gosh, we've got it all covered across the country with this young talent, too.
Yeah, it is about what the World of Outlaws has been about from the very beginning. We're going to bring the best group of drivers, and we want you to bring your best group of drivers from the area, and we're going to have a ball racing in front of the biggest crowds that track's going to see all year.
It is.
And that's what the greatest show on dirt is about.
It is the greatest show on dirt, that's for sure. Now, we have ran out of time in this program, so what we're going to do is we're going to have Brian stick around. We're going to do our preview podcast, which you can catch Thursday. And in that, we're going to talk about 2019 because I believe he's got some things he wants to lay on us here. So we'll use that as a tease. We got a little business. Being the last show of the year, we got a little business that we want to cover here as well. We are at such an exciting time with Wing Nation. You sprint car fans and the industry has been so good to us. Our plans for 2019, I can't even fathom how huge and big they're going to be. But one of the things we've developed, and we're going to debut it right now, is we have a brand new logo. And I believe we can pop that up. Yes. Oh, look at that. Wing Nation. How about that? A brand new logo. So unveiling that here today. And I'm just going to question, wouldn't that look good on some apparel? Stay tuned to our social media because we may be able to get that on some hats and shirts for the holidays. We're really excited. We've got a lot of neat things happening, but a lot of the neat things happen with Wing Nation because of our partners and sponsors, and I'm just going to read through the list of them. I could talk 20 minutes about every one of them. Sage Fruit, Hercules Tire, Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery, National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, Weld Racing, Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, Aggressive Hydraulics, Hefner Racing Products, our track partners that bring us out to these racetracks. Knoxville Raceway, Port Royal, and Jackson Motorplex. We just cannot thank all of our partners enough. Here in this building went from the voice of NASCAR to everybody out here talking about sprint car racing. It is phenomenal. The transition in this building is crazy. Everyone's following sprint car racing. So to Chris Schwartz and the entire staff here at MRN, our producer Craig Moore, our video guru, Brian Yesowich, Tony Rizzuti, who does all things digital, Pat Berger's our video guy, JJ Roper. This guy's our sales genius, does a great job along the way. I want to also mention our buddy in Pennsylvania, Ian Falcone. Went up there and did a bunch of videos, and Ian, man, he bent over backwards to take good care of us. So we always like to mention him along the way. And with that, we're going to wrap up the Tuesday show. Of course, we'll be back on Thursday, and we'll be back Saturday with Donnie Schatz joining us on MAV TV. But we've got huge plans. We're going to start sometime in late January, although we may start a little earlier than that. Wing Nation Presents is going on all weekend long. Rip the Fence, our Twitter and our Facebook. So stay with us along the way. Thanks to Brian Carter for joining us, but more important than all of that, thank you for joining us here today.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Wing Nation can be found on demand at MRN.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.